Hey guys, Ryan here. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to install an MGW shifter on your T5 or T45 transmission. I'm recording this video on a different day than the footage you're going to see, just because I want to say that I'm going to try and upload one video a week on the weekends, and next week I don't think I'll be able to get a video out just because of the weather. If I can get one out, that'd be great, but I don't think I'll be able to do anything to my car in this weather. I don't think it'll melt before the weekend. So probably no video next week, but enjoy the video. That's cool. Alright. 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 What's this? I got people in here. Nothing else. Okay. So here it is. Okay. This is what we got. Got a nice little shifter here. Nice and greased up. Perfect. As you can see, MGW. An MGW shifter for a T5, T45. And then in here, I'm sure, it's a bunch of crap. But we got the, this guy. Allows you to kind of rotate it. If you don't know anything about these shifters, you can pretty much tighten it and rotate this however you want. So say you want your shifter to kind of lean towards you a little bit, you can do it like that. And then here we got the race shift handle. Okay. And then we got the OEM comfort handle. So that'll go in there, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's got also came with this RTV silicone, and then the instructions here. It's probably pretty self-explanatory. There's my receipt. Nope, no instructions, just shifting information. I'll tell you guys what it ran me. It ran me, with shipping, tax was not included because I live in Colorado, $223. $189 for the shifter itself. It comes with obviously a shift handle for free. I got the race one with it, included in the price. And then I got this comfort handle here for $15. So in total, $223. They also have another handle. It's kind of a mid-tier. Race is top, comfort is the bottom, and then standard's in the middle. So I got the most and the least amount of throw. We're obviously in the car. Shift benzel's already off. Just a little advice, be careful with it. These like to break easily. Use a little Tetra driver and pop them out. Just be careful with it. And then the other issue is this can break too. So just kind of be careful with it. Be easy. Be gentle. It's plastic. Alright. Next thing that you're probably going to want to do is, I mean, you don't have to take the shifter off necessarily, but you are going to, you know, probably end up putting it on your new shifter. So probably take that off. But what I'm going to do is just disconnect these two here, and then take this rubber boot off. Alright, so once you get the dust boot out, what you're gonna do next is take these out. Mine are Allen's. Yours, if you have a factory, are just gonna be normal bolts, but you're gonna take this out. Be careful not to leak transmission fluid everywhere. Alright, so once you get those bolts undone, go ahead and just kind of pull this out. As I said, I would recommend using a paper towel or something just to catch all this tranny fluid that's probably going to be leaking. We're just going to set that there. Okay. Now your next step is you're going to probably fill this with a paper towel, get a razor blade, and scrape all of this goo. See all that silicone crap? You're going to want to get all that off. And you can just kind of put it on the ground, the floor, just don't let it get in here, alright? So you want to get it clean. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want most of it off, because the more of it you have off, the better adhesion for the new stuff you're going to put on. And when you pull this paper towel out, two things to be careful of. Any tranny fluid that could be on the bottom of it, and all the stuff that fell in here, you don't want it to crumble up and fall back in. So you just kind of easily take it out, try and keep its original shape. And I'm just going to tuck it back there. It'll fall to the floor. There you go. Alright. That didn't fall. I'll get it later. But anyway, so it doesn't need to be perfect, but you do want to get most of it. And then MGW supplies you with new silicone. And it's going to be kind of like putting on silicone on a rear end. In the sense that you're going to want to go around these holes here. You want to go around these holes, kind of around here like that. Obviously I'm not using any, but you're going to want to follow that pathing. Because if you don't, it won't give it the proper adhesion. It's just kind of like a diff cover on a rear end. You want to go inside these holes. So they also have this gasket here. A little instruction says not to do both, choose one or the other. So you can use your silicone, or you can use this gasket, not both. Peel and stick basically is what it said to do with this. But you need blue Loctite on the 4 mounting bolts. I don't have any blue Loctite. So that's why I just decided to do that method there. And there it is with all the silicone on it. Don't touch it. It will get everywhere. If you get it on your hands and you touch stuff, it'll get everywhere. So be careful not to touch it. So now the next thing you're going to want to do is put the shifter in. So line that ball up down there, smack it in. You don't want to be moving this around. You want to line it up the best you can without moving it around, because it'll mess up all of that silicone down there. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to need 2 hands. I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you guys the next step. Alright, the next step is these supplied, make sure you use these supplied bolts that they give you with lock washers and washers. So the order is you want the bolt, then you want to put the lock washer on the bolt. Okay, and then this washer here, okay, stay. The flat side you obviously want on the bottom, and the rounder part you want up top. And then you can go ahead and thread these in by hand. Do all 4 corners, and then you can start using your ratchet. You're gonna want to pull this boot up a little bit to reveal this hole in the front. There's a hole identical in the back. You're gonna get a small bag with nuts and bolts and 2 little studs that you're gonna want to use. You're gonna want to thread the studs in the front and the back first. Okay. And then once you get those threaded in, you're gonna want to take your nuts and washer and tighten it up against this here. And I'll show you once I get this done. So once you get that in there, you don't want it to touch the shifter, okay? If you see here, it's not really, no, it's not focused. Well, it's not touching. There's a little bit of a gap there. And that's what you want. You don't want it touching, okay? And then you're gonna put your little lock washer on there. You're gonna put your nut on there. It's a 14, okay? Once you get the nut on there and threaded properly, and they give you an Allen wrench that fits that little stud. Put it on there, get your 13 wrench, put it on there, and then tighten it. Alright, now once you get your stupid little things in there, you can put this dumb boot back on, and you're gonna have to fight it, muscle it. I wouldn't recommend using any tools, as you might rip the boot. Once you get the boot back on, all that's assembled tight, put together. Get your little dust boot here. Now if it looks like this, all ripped and torn, and I would recommend replacing it. I'm not going to replace it right now. You want to line up your 4 holes. This big chunk here is the top, if you don't remember. Line up your 4 holes, make sure these clips are lined up, and there you go. Okay, so once you get this back in there and it's all bolted up, if you keep your old one, I would recommend cleaning it. If you're replacing it, don't worry about it, because now you're going to be putting this foam pad in there with a sticky backside. My assumption is that the sticky side is supposed to stick to this. I'm not going to peel this just yet because I am going to get a new one, and this one is really dirty, then it won't even stick. But make sure when you put this in here that your wires are out and exposed for your benzol. That way you're not going to have to pull it back out later when you put your benzol in. So I'm going to put this in there now, shove it in there, make it flat, and then I think next is the actual shifter. Alright, so now I got that back in there. Obviously, it's not perfect because my thing's ripped. Okay, so I got that in there. Looks alright. Next, you're gonna want to do your actually, I think the next thing we're gonna want to probably do is this MGW piece here. It's really easy. You just got your little Allens there. Again, just use your little Allen wrench, line it up, and my assumption is that it would probably go in like that. Okay, tighten up those Allens, make it face whichever direction you want, 360 degrees. And then take your shifter and do the same thing. So I went ahead and tightened this, and I put the race shifter in first and tightened that up. So now it's all good and tight. I did find an issue though. My shift handle here is a little long, and it's a little awkward looking, but I think now, I'm not gonna do it, so I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure now would be the safe time to put your benzol back in, and then you can do your handle last. Once you get this through here, you can do your handle, and you should be good to go. Make sure you plug all your stuff in, and they're out of the way. You don't want anything in there getting bound up. So there you go, and that's how you install the shifter.